nonetheless, I mean, I mean, so there's 2 episodes left, right?
Yeah.
We still have to meet Min, who we know we're gonna meet Min. We still have that sort of Aiel flashback dream, something like that. What are we thinking as for the next 2 episodes?
Yeah, so you're right. We get to Fal Dara. Just to put this, I think some folks where I saw some comments about like, hey, why are we going to the Eye of the World? Simply, it's to put the dragon next to the Dark One's air quote prison, or near the Dark One himself, so that way we can have a confrontation. That like he's in a weakened state, and Moiraine knows it's one of the 5 she believes. So we're going to put that person in close proximity to the Dark One, and that's their solution. Sounds like a pretty rushed plan. Like they don't have a whole lot to go off of here. They can't get the rest of the haul behind it, and they want to move things forward. Now, when I think back to the Age of Legends and what happened with Lews Therin and the divide between some of his male channelers, the 100 companions, and then what happened with the other Aes Sedai, they disagreed on some stuff, on what to do. And right now, it is kind of crazy. You almost from the other Ajah's perspectives, you could see why what happens to Siuan later happens to her. Because once it's found out that, hey, you didn't tell anybody about the most important person out there, this whole quest to find the dragon, you kept that secret from all of the other Aes Sedai, and you ran with this on your own, that's going to tick a lot of people off. And you just went ahead and threw him at the Dark One in the Dark One's prison. That's where they're going with this. And so they're setting up a big tower divide, and they did it right in this episode.
Yeah, so I do think we will still see stuff going on at the tower. I think, yeah, man, I don't think that Siuan is going to get like deposed at like episode 8. But I do think something's going to happen with Liandrin where we possibly find out she is Dark Friend. AKA maybe not a red Ajah, maybe a black Ajah. Perhaps there is another Ajah.
How dare you? How dare you?
We'll see. We could be done with the White Cloaks, by the way. We could be done with the White Cloaks this season.
For now, sure.
Just this season, I do think. Will we see the Green Man? I don't know, actually. And who's going to be that villain in episode 8? We've still been seeing Balsamon in the dreams. So I think this next episode, like as they're traveling, a lot of stuff's going to get revealed. Like a lot of here's kind of what I think's going on with you. Here's what I think's going on with you. Because Moiraine did say there'll be plenty of time to talk as we travel throughout the ways. Now they're also going to have to spend time just making the ways seem dark, mysterious, and scary, right? And so I think we're going to get a little bit of that. You know, we're going to get I think Egwene and Nynaeve are going to have a conversation, right? And then I think because Mat's gone, I think Rand is going to be talking with Rand is going to be talking with Lan, maybe. And remember, he did have the blade. He did pull the blade out. Maybe we get a little bit of like, here's what's going on with that blade. And I believe the IMDb description, right? The description for this next episode was that we would find out who the Dragon Reborn is. Moiraine would reveal who the Dragon Reborn was.
Someone said, too, that they think Min will be very important to the reveal of the dragon, seeing those symbols. So someone at Fal Dara, I believe we'll see Min there in Fal Dara, will tell Moiraine something. It'd be one of her contacts, or Lord Agelmar will bring her forward as this individual who can interpret signs or read something.
Right. Because remember, they changed stuff. Remember that IMDb had them up and they took them down. But if you look at them, they're the exact same thing, which was Moiraine faces the consequence of her actions. Mat faces the darkness in himself. Egwene faces the most powerful woman in the world. And the next episode is The Dark Along the Ways.
Yeah. Yeah. So, we'll figure out, like, and again, it just because that's the description, right? I mean, even if it's like who she believes to be the dragon, still could be wrong. It could be, because they said, I mean, right now they're even thinking, okay, it could be Nynaeve, even though her age doesn't fit, but you can't discount that kind of power that we're seeing from her. So, there's that. Now, folks are asking some questions, just by the way, about Fal Dara and the Eye of the World, Shayol Ghul, and all of it. And just to clear some of that up, yes, the eye of the world does move, and it is a great need that will drive our characters there. Moiraine's need is greater than even the need at Tarwin's Gap. And so she is, that's what helps her find the eye of the world and the Green Man and all that kind of stuff. So, super cool to see how that unfolds. And it's going to be, so first it'll be Fal Dara, Min interpreting stuff, Lord Agomar, all of the stuff at Tarwin's Gap will be important. And they're going to say, I think we're still going to get those lines, which is like one Aes Sedai in this battle would be huge. That is coming. The Dark One's army is amassing at Tarwin's Gap, and Moraine's going to say, yeah, sorry, we can't go there. I have to go put the Dragon Reborn in front of the Dark One. So it's, they're saying that the Eye of the World is his prison. It's not necessarily in the books. It's near there. It's in the Blight, and in the Blight is where Shayol Ghul is as well. But they're separate things. So the Green Man is protecting that pure saidin pool, and the freaking Dragon's Banner, the Horde of Valyr, baby. Like there's some pretty cool stuff up there that we're gonna need. It's high fantasy. Get those magical items, and those are what we'll rally behind in the last battle. The last battle is not going to be at episode 8, baby. We got a long ways to go.
No, we do have a long way to go. So just a quick thing here. So the next 2 episodes, because remember, these episodes are directed 2 by 2. And these are the 2 that were directed post when they came back from COVID. So the next episode is directed by Karian Donnelly, who has directed a lot of sort of television, handful of episodes, did a few episodes of Altered Carbon, Krypton, but I would say where we should get really excited is Vikings. It's 15 episodes of Vikings. And nice. So we know that this is supposed to be sort of a big battle. Vikings, great show, definitely has some really, really cool battles in it. So think you're bringing on somebody for some big epic battle sequences.
Yeah, which is cool. So again, that Tarwin's Gap situation, and then I mean, remember at the end of Eye of the World, Rand not only defeats Ashamael and Balsamon, but then will go travel, I believe, or do something with the power over to Tarwin's Gap and win the war there. And this is why Uno, Ingtar, all those individuals, they start to, like later on, they're gonna really, but wow, that's Falma, where they're gonna see what he does at Falma. But something happens that they can't explain. They might push that forward. They might start to rally around Rand earlier than we think. Who knows? But the Eye of the World, someone mentioned that the Eye of the World might not be this oasis where the Green Man is protecting this pool. It might just be part of the Blight, and they might merge Shayol Ghul and Eye of the World. They might do that. Just in the books, to be clear, they're different. But yeah, it perhaps just to make it easier, they do that. It's a cool name. It's pretty awesome. But 2 separate things. I just can't wait to see. I can't wait to see what goes down. First of all, like you said, Matt, some major stuff's going to go down. Some storytelling. Remember, there was actually a clip of Tam al'Thor. We saw him like what looked like later on, not the stuff we've seen. I thought maybe they were going to go back and like he shows up later in the season. So I was like, is there more flashbacks to come or something?
There has to be, because we know that there was an Aiel. There's an Aiel thing. Remember, we saw it in the
fighting and dragon
fighting and stuff like that. And I think that could get explained, because the interesting thing is they've really gone out of their way in every episode to pull us in the direction that everybody is the dragon except Rand. Rand has the least amount of hinting, I would say. Just like, oh, he has his hair and he saw it. It's like, for people who don't know anything about it, it's like Loyal could be the dragon because he has yellow eyes and a wolf pack. Nynaeve could be it because they said she's one of the most powerful. Oh, is Logain as powerful as Nynaeve? And we saw her channel Egwene. Sorry, Nynaeve goes Super Saiyan and blows stuff up. Matt's got the dagger, and Rand thinks he remembers seeing a mountain. Okay, it's like it like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So they've gone in every way to make you think. So I think you're going to go into this next episode thinking, wow, now it really could be Mat, and then they'll reveal that it's, you know, Rand
That is right. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and that's
right.
what they want. They want that big send us off
unless they change it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, maybe they keep it going for a little bit longer. Maybe they do, and we all freak the heck out. But I really think they're going to drop Rand on us right at the end, unless they change it to it split 5 ways. The only 2 options I see right now are the Dragon Soul being split into 5, or it's Rand al'Thor. I don't think that they would make it anyone else. You know, that's just not going to happen. And really, I think it's going to be Rand. Sorry, when they mentioned that, I thought, all right, it's another false kind of trail just for show watchers only. And I think it's great. I think we always mark these spoiler because we're talking full spoilers here, and we want folks to be. But you know, even us who have read the books, we're watching this going, hey, we don't know. Like, this is why we watch it. Like, we're looking at a new interpretation of this, and Rafe and others have said this is they're not adapting the books necessarily. They're adapting the story overall. The ideas, the themes, and so on.
Yes. Good point. Somebody said that Rand also did blow that door open. He messed that door up. Yes.
Yeah. Good. Other folks are mentioning that the Black Wind is something we will see in the Ways. Yes. I agree.
Machin Shin.
Yeah.
Machin Shin.
I don't know if I ever say it right or not, but
I never do either.
Yeah. So, yeah, Halden Kirkwood said another turning of the wheel. This is another. People have talked about this as just another thing. The show is different from the books. The books are complete; they are finished. You can go read them, and they're out there. And this is their own interpretation in 8 seasons, 14 books, and maybe 8 seasons. We're trying to get there. We've got 3 approved, and we'll kind of go from there. I don't know. Some of the changes I've really liked. Some of them, they're shocking, and they're showing us they're expanding more of the story. This whole Siuan piece is really cool. The piece with the politics is radical. What do you got?
Found it. The episode description. Yes. Moiraine, and this is the same one. So now it's back up. But remember, this was the one that we saw weeks ago. Moiraine and her charges are diverted from their path by an unexpected encounter, revealing Moraine's true goal, lands past, and the fractures that have gone in the group and the identity of the Dragon Reborn.
Yeah, cool. So that's next episode, you said, right?
Yes. So that could be lands past fighting against the Aiel.
Sure, it could be. Yeah,
which is what happens in the
New Spring,
the Great Hunt, the New Spring. Excuse me.
Yeah.
He fights against them. All of that stuff. Moiraine and her charges are diverted from their path by an unexpected encounter. That sounds like Machin Shin to me. That seems pretty straightforward. Book readers, we know that sort of happens. Cause I don't think they're going to get split up again. It says revealing Moraine's true goal, which is, hey, I've been searching for the Dragon Reborn because we're trying to get ready for the final battle.
Yeah.
Right. Lands past the fractures that have grown in the group. Now, to me, we might get a little bit here of, remember, think about, there's a lot of stuff that's happened that we're now coming back together, and we now sort of know. At this point in the books, we've learned right around this point, as is when we learn of, like, to me, it was almost like I was like, wow, I felt like I didn't see this coming in the books. Remember when we were doing our book thing, I was like, hold on a second, wait, Nynaeve and Lan like is a thing?
Yeah.
Because it does sort of seem like in the books it happens really fast, just sort of comes out of I mean, there's hinting, but it's like boom. So we might get that, which could cause a little more animosity between Moiraine and Nynaeve. Then Egwene and Rand are coupling it longer than they do in the books.
Mm-hmm.
That lasts about like the first 10 chapters, and then that's like pretty much gone. And then Egwene now knows about what happened to Perrin, where nobody else does. And Mat's gone. So Egwene's probably like, what happened to Mat? What's going on there?
Right. Yeah. So some sharing of stories and really a big catch up as they're traveling through the ways, and it's spooky. It's scary. Will they be followed by Podon Fane? Is Machin Shin gonna get them? A great comment up here earlier about maybe they're going to the Blight, like that's where they're trying to get to.
Right.
Loyal had that map We saw the leaked photo of him holding the map, but we didn't see it in the episode. But Loyal's holding the map, and Lan and Moraine are looking at it. That was cut from this episode. But it's like either diverted to Fal Dara, and it's the builder, Loyal, who can help guide us through the ways and might say, hey, we got to divert this way and whatever. But along the way, they're going to be telling those stories and doing the backstory, the catch up, like you're saying, I think.
Right. And keep in mind, the whole episode, by the way, it's going to be another hour-long episode. So the whole episode is not going to be in the ways. I think we're really only going to be in the ways for like 20 minutes at most. And then it's going to be getting this up. And then the episode's going to need to end with some sort of like, get us pumped for the final episode. So some action, maybe we see Trollocs charge in or something along those lines to really sort of build up the suspense and hype for the for the final episode.
Yeah, for sure. You're right. We have to build up towards either the Trollocs marching through Tarwin's Gap or something. Someone channels, or maybe it's Min reveals who the Dragon Reborn is. All that kind of stuff will be really cool. I did like this comment here about Nynaeve, though. We actually slip away from the Siuan Egwene Nynaeve conversation. It's just left hanging. So I think we will get them talking about this in the ways as to why Nynaeve agrees to go along with whether that be the tower or just the tower's plans. How is it that Siuan convinced her that this was necessary? Because it kind of feels like they told the two girls something that they won't tell the boys. And so they're maybe in on this plot or this idea with Moraine. Because even in the description that you read, you said Moraine is going to reveal what her true intentions are and all that kind of stuff. Buddy, she's been saying the whole time, though, that she just said to them in this episode, she revealed to them that, hey, I'm looking for the dragon. One of you is the dragon. She said that the whole time. So, like, what else besides? Is she just going to, why put that in the description if she's just going to repeat that same thing in the ways? I feel like there's something else. And that whole piece with Nynaeve and Egwene and Siuan talking, there's some other things that maybe haven't been revealed yet, which I think would be really cool. So,
yeah. And then, so, okay. So here's a question. So how do we think that she's going to figure out how is it going to be explained that it's Rand? If it doesn't go down some weird fracture route, and it does obviously go, I'm assuming the same way as the books, how is it going to be explained? What has she seen enough of to know that it's Rand?
Well, so in the book, again, it's the fact that they just go to the Eye of the World, and things happen between. It's some of the stuff that Rand does, or it's just the fact that he channels. Really, is that he is the male channeler kind of among them. The problem is that if Mat's not there, she can't see that he can't channel, or that Perrin's got something else going on. I think it's got to be that he channels in some epic way. Right now, the reason that Nynaeve is the leading candidate is because she's channeled to such a degree that no one has ever seen before. I actually think in this next episode, Egwene is going to channel, and it's going to be a big deal. So
could be. Good point. Again, they have been hinting at the hair, and so maybe if we do get some of this Aiel flashback, that's where they ultimately think it was from, and we'll get just a little bit more of that. The other one is in the books, Moraine, we will come to find once the dragon starts doing things, some of this debate becomes, well, should we save the dragon for the final battle? Do we want to protect him to make sure he gets there? Well, Moraine is kind of the opinion that no, the dragon will, if he is the dragon, he will be there. So it's kind of free will. You can do whatever you want because I know that the dragon will be there for the final battle. So I think she could almost exclude Mat because Mat's doing his own thing. And you could say, well, the real dragon wouldn't do that.
Yeah,
is one way of doing it.
Yeah, he's eliminated because
eliminated because then you could almost say that Perrin, maybe she'll explain more about the Yellow Eyes and the Wolf Pack, and she'll say, I can eliminate him even though she seems so like, I don't know who the dragon is or what's going on, but something had happened.
Yeah.
I would actually, to me, the thing that would cause me to believe that he was the dragon, honest to God, is the moment when he goes off on her in episode 2.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, where are we going? What are we doing? Like that.
Yeah. If we see more of that, right?
Right. That is the dragon.
Right.
That is the dragon. That is like the mannerism, that is everything that the dragon is supposed to do. That sort of, because she seems, when it happens, if you go watch it in episode 2, she seems taken aback for a second.
Right. Yeah, she does. She does for sure. Someone mentioned, so Rand was reading from the Griathon cycle, the prophecies of the dragon. And I think this is kind of cool. He was reading from that. Maybe more of it will be revealed by men or be listed off in the ways. But twice and twice shall he be marked, twice to live and twice to die. Once the heron to set his path, twice the heron to name him true. Once the dragon for remembrance lost, twice the dragon for the price he must pay. 5 ride forth and 4 return. Above the watchers over the waves shall he proclaim himself, bannered across the sky in fire. So like it could just be that he's there. Maybe there is a bit of heron marking that happens. There's a lot of different things. I think you look to the prophecy sometimes and too say, if it's read out loud and then Rand has a heron mark, burned in because of the blade or who knows what, and he tries to hide it, and we see that it builds that dramatic kind of irony. Like, we saw one of the prophecies fulfilled. Moiraine doesn't see it. We're with Rand, like, yeah, hide that. so she doesn't see it. I mean, they can change things up a bit. They've already done that quite a bit here in the show. So, I mean, yeah, man. I don't know.
It's gonna be interesting. I'm super excited to see, like, just where this all goes and how what's gonna happen next episode and how it's gonna and what we're gonna see. It's just because it's so interesting because like we're on pace with Eye of the World, but at the same time, it's like so much of the rest of it is like fractured, splintered, way out there that they do just keep us guessing. So they are doing a great job in keeping the hype up,
right?
But at the same time, keeping us on our toes.
Right. Yeah. It's all in the execution here as to how they reveal it and how they weave in some of the prophecy. Moiraine, like you said, Rand kind of pushing back on what she says.
This could happen too. And this is a good point. Sauce Man here. I bet there's a dream sequence in episode 7 when they're in the ways taking a break. Rand sees the Dark One and wakes up with a brand. Also, yeah, we haven't seen Balsamon, right? Or the Dark One as they're right. The man in the dreams. We haven't seen him in like 2 episodes, I believe.
Right. Yeah, exactly. And so, yeah, who plays him, right? I mean, who's going to be that person stepping up to
Steve, the guy who plays Steve.
Steve. Lord,
where's he been?
I don't know. That's what I'm saying. People have been, the whole chat, I've been seeing people like Steve ? Where is he at? So I don't know. Yeah. All right, guys. Here in just a little bit, we're gonna have our patron, our buddy Ryan, pop in here on the show. We're gonna have him in here, get his thoughts going because we have much more to discuss. But it's crazy, man. I mean, I am impressed with this episode. My thoughts on it are it showed us more than what we've seen in the books. It does change things a bit, but the spirit of it is still there. The Moiraine and Siuan stuff is epic and awesome. I love it. Right now, I'm loving it, man. Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm gonna look up here and see if there's anybody who we know has been cast that we haven't seen yet, because that would definitely be interesting to say the least, because then we can sort of look at and say, okay, like, wait, what's going on here? Who haven't we seen? Logain, Steppen, Ivan, Ilya. We have not seen Ilyena. Or Lews Therin. Will we? We know there has been a Lews Therin cast, but I think that's going to be season 2. But you and I have talked about this as well. As I think it's possible we could get a dream or something.
Yeah.